Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're in the middle of the auspicious month, which we call Kartik. And during this month, of course, there are many festivals. Just a few days ago we had Diwali, and many lights are everywhere in Dubai. We're seeing a lot of decoration. Diwali, Festival of Light. And we also celebrated the Govardhan Hill, what is called the Festival, Annakut, a giving of grains, offering of grains, and commemorating Lord Krishna's pastime of lifting the Govardhan Hill. So, as well as that, during the month of Kartik, we observe the worship of the Lord in a form known as Damodar. Dhamma means, Dhamma is rope, and Udara is the belly, right? So Damodar, one whose belly is bound by ropes. And you can see there, on the right there's a picture, Mother Yashoda has got ropes and she's tying Lord Krishna with the rope. So this festival is very auspicious, and we celebrate it every day for the entire month. So very special, you know, like other festivals, they're over in one day. Diwali is just one day, and Janmashtami, one day. Gaur Purnima, Ram Navami, these festivals, they're all over in one day. But the Damodar, this month of Damodar, we're celebrating every day for the entire month. Thank you. Okay. And we observe it by offering lights. You can see we have a number of ghee-wicks there prepared. And these ghee-wicks are very nice to offer. We hope you will all, after my talk is over, we'll sing the prayer, the Damodar Astikam, 8 verses glorifying the Lord as Damodar. And we will offer the light, the lamp with the ghee-wick. And that festival, offering the light, it's very significant. It has a deep meaning. By offering the light, you see, light is knowledge. Where there is light, there's no darkness. Darkness is like ignorance, and light is like knowledge. In the light, we're not afraid, we don't have to worry, we feel safe and secure. But in the dark, we're always a little bit worried, you know, what's happening, and who's there, who's coming. So it's a very different situation. We prefer to be in the light. In fact, the Vedas say, Tamasimad Jyotirgama, don't stay in the dark, come to the light. And I offered the Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya, that I was born in darkness. We were all actually born in darkness. We come to this world in darkness. And when we meet the spiritual teachers, they can open our eyes with the lamp of knowledge. So this is the idea that we offer the lamp. And just by offering the lamp, we get a lot of benefit. You know, in the material world, we're here in this material situation, and we have some good and we have some bad. You know, we talk about karma, and all of us, we have some good deeds and some bad deeds. You do some good deeds and you enjoy the results, and you do some bad things and you suffer for it. So the nature of this world, material world, there's some happiness and there's some distress. And it's not by chance that we get happiness and distress, but it's according to the activities, the type of life which we lead. So this Damodar festival is an opportunity for us to get rid of some of the bad things which we have done, the reactions of our sins, which we're all carrying from many lifetimes. We have to understand that we're all spiritual beings. We're eternal spiritual beings. And we have had many births in the past. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. And Krishna explains to Arjuna the history of the Bhagavad Gita. He says that I spoke this knowledge to the sun god, Vivishwan. And Vivishwan then spoke it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. So Arjuna was surprised, he was puzzled. He thought, Krishna, how could you speak the knowledge to the sun god? Arjuna says to Krishna, sun god is so much superior by birth to you and I. You're telling me you spoke this knowledge to the sun god? So then Krishna replied to Arjuna that many, many births both you and I have had, O Arjuna. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. This is the situation we're in today. We don't remember our previous births, but we have all had many births in many lifetimes. And we may continue in that situation. The nature of material existence is birth and death. Living entities, all different creatures, they take birth, they live for some time, and eventually they die. And this is true for all different forms of life. Now we are fortunate. We have the human form of life. It's a great blessing to have the human form of life. We enjoy a lot of facilities which the other species don't have. In our human form of life, we have opportunities for many things. You know, the communication and the transportation, the education, the opportunities are very great for the human form. We have dominion over all the other species. And some people even think the animals are there just simply for our food. And they don't feel any remorse by killing the animals. So human beings, they have that domination over the other forms of life. It's superior. We enjoy facilities, right? We have to admit, we have a lot of facilities, like here in this part of the world. There are a lot of facilities which are there for the human being. And with facility comes responsibility. The highly placed government officers will have a lot of facilities. And with facilities, there are responsibilities. So, in the human form of life, our responsibility is based on taking advantage of our human form of life to inquire and to understand about a higher purpose of life. We're meant for inquiry, for investigation. The Vedas mean knowledge, and the Vedas are summarized in Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta means the end of knowledge, but Sutra means condensed. It's put in a very brief form. So the Vedanta Sutra begins, Atato Brahma Jignasa. Atato means now. Why now? Because now you are in the human form of life. In other bodies, you could not have this opportunity. But in the human form of life, you have the chance to inquire, to ask, who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? This is the business of human life. We're meant for that kind of inquiry, for that kind of investigation. So the Vedas begin like that, Vedanta Sutra begins like that, to ask, to try to understand some purpose behind our existence. You know, often people are so caught up in the material life, they don't think there's any higher purpose to life than just eating and sleeping. And they think the goal of life is fulfilled if they can fulfill their belly and pay the bills. Of course, that's one level of existence. But that there is certainly a higher level of existence. And if we want to go on to experience the real value of life, we have to inquire about the purpose of our existence. We have to try to understand our spiritual nature. Right? So we say, who am I? We talk about my hand, my leg, my head, my body. But who am I? Who is the owner of this body? You see, within this body there is the eternal soul, the spiritual self. And we want to understand that identity. We want to come to that consciousness of knowing ourselves as a spiritual being. So this is a very important part of human life. Being responsible, inquiring, and understanding our spiritual identity. To help all of us to do that, scriptures are there. The scriptures are there to guide us. In different faiths, in different traditions, they all have their different scriptures. The Christian have the Bible. The Muslim people have the Quran. The Hindu people, they have their book, like Bhagavad Gita. The Sikh people have their Granth Sahib, right? Everyone has their different books for spiritual progress, to advance to the higher level of life, to answer the problems of existence. So human life is very special. Human life is different from the animals. The animals don't have religion. They don't have anything. They have only eating and sleeping and mating and defending. And if we limit our life to these four activities, then there's no difference between the human and the animal. We become simply dvipada pashu, two-legged animals. Although you could say in this part of the world we're running on 4 wheels rather than 2 legs. Of course the dog also runs on 4 legs, and the business of the dog is the same: eating and sleeping, mating, defending. And we're moving on our 4 wheels, but if our business is simply those things, that is the animal propensity of life. We're not meant to just live on the level of the animals. We're meant for something higher. And that higher existence comes about when we start to inquire and to understand our spiritual existence. To help all of us to awaken some spiritual consciousness, we encourage people just to chant the mantras, to chant different names. And in different religious traditions, people do that. It's common for people to chant mantras. And the Buddhists will chant, the Muslim people, they also chant. The Christian people, they also chant. Everyone has got their different prayers. So, in our Krishna conscious practice, we also have a mantra. We have a very simple mantra, which is just made up of 3 words, and you all know it. You heard the devotee just a few minutes ago. He was chanting so nicely there, playing the harmonium. It was very melodious, very attractive and captivating to hear the chanting of the Maha Mantra. Mantra. Man means the mind and tra means to free. We want to free our mind. Free our mind from the anxiety of material life. There's a lot of anxiety here in this material world. Everywhere. Especially here in this part of the world. There's a lot of anxiety. Although it appears comfortable and opulent, but there's always anxiety. Because everyone has to worry about old age and disease and ultimately death is there. The saying goes, as sure as death, and death is sure. We cannot avoid. We have taken birth, and the same way one day we will have to die. We have to give up the body. Are we preparing for that moment when we will leave this world? We have to prepare. How to prepare? People often don't know. They never thought about it. They're so busy working, trying to make money, trying to increase the bank balance. They never think about what is the real purpose of life. So they waste the human life. If you waste that human life, next life you won't get a human body. Next life you'll take birth in the lower species of life. It's not a very great credit. If now you have the human body, and next life you have to take birth in the lower species of life. Become a bird, or just like we're singing this Damodardesh song, and it tells about 2 sons of Kuvera, Nala, Kuvera and Manigriva. They were sons of a powerful demigod. They became trees in their next life. And they had to stand in the body of trees for a long time. That is not a very pleasant existence. Could you imagine your feet buried in the ground and you stand and tolerate all the conditions, the wind and the rain and the heat and the cold? It's a punishment to be in that kind of body. And that's what happens to people when they don't make proper use of the human life. So we don't want that to happen to us. How can we avoid it? Very simply, by taking up some spiritual practice. And spiritual life begins by association. You need to get some good association with people who practice spiritual culture. Just like you've come here this evening. You've come for a spiritual program. It's not material. There are no drinks, right? There's no gambling, there's no intoxication. Not in the material sense. But there are higher things, higher pleasures of life. And there is happiness, real happiness. Someone told me they thought that drinking alcohol was happiness. I said, that is not happiness. That's the illusion of happiness. You want happiness, you have to experience the self, the spiritual self within. So spiritual happiness can awaken by recitation of mantras. That's one way which is very much recommended in this age. And there are many different mantras to chant. We're introducing the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna mantra. we follow the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came to teach everyone to chant the holy name. But you can chant other names. There are many names of the Lord, but they have different powers. Just like Lord Shiva told his wife, Parvati, Parvati was going to chant Vishnu Sahasranam. Vishnu Sahasranam means the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. So Lord Shiva told his wife, Rame Rame Namo Rame Sahasranama Bistuyam Sri Rama Nama Varanini. He says to Parvati, my dear Parvati, my dear wife with a beautiful face, he said, don't waste your time to chant the 1,000 names of Vishnu. You just need to chant the name of Lord Ram. Lord Rama's name, one name is equal to 1,000 names of Vishnu. So there are different names you can chant. Some people like to chant Vishnu Sahasranam. Some people like to chant the name of Lord Rama. It's become very popular since they opened the temple in Ayodhya. A lot of people are going there, and more people chanting the name of Lord Rama. It's become very fashionable in the last year with the new temple there. But actually, 3 names of Lord Rama is equal to 1 name of Lord Krishna. The Shastra also state like that. That 1 name of Lord Krishna is supremely powerful. So 1 name of Krishna is equal to 3,000 names of Lord Vishnu. So different names have different potencies. It's up to you what you would like to chant. Some people like to devote themselves to Vishnu, some people like to devote themselves to Lord Rama, and some people like to chant the names of Lord Krishna. But whatever name you like to chant, do it with love and devotion. That is the important qualification. The mood in which we want to chant. That we're doing this chanting, we're not doing it for any material purpose. We don't want to get paid for it. We're not looking to get anything material out of it. We're doing it for our spiritual purification. If we will purify ourselves, then we can experience the higher pleasure, the pleasure of the soul. What is the nature of the soul? Sat Chit Anand, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. Right? We all want to have Ananda. We want to have that bliss. You don't get it just by paying some money. We like to buy things. We think money can buy everything. It's not true. You want to get the real spiritual pleasure. Your money won't help you to get it. You have to have bhakti, devotion. That mood of devotion is the real qualification necessary to get the higher pleasure of life. And that experience can come to all of us. Devotion is within all of us. Unfortunately, we misdirect our devotion to different things. Some people devote themselves to bringing up dogs, raise dogs or raise cats. Cats are more popular here in this country. I see more cats than dogs. It's a bit better. Not dogs, so many people, dog lovers and cat lovers. But what the person we should really love is the Supreme Lord. We should try to develop love, not love for dog, but love for God. That is the real business of human life. We have to understand that there is God, there is the Supreme Lord, and we have a relationship with Him. He is the Supreme, and we are His servants. We may think, oh, I'm a servant. Oh, no, I don't want to be. I want to be the master. You should understand, to be the servant is the greatest pleasure. There's more pleasure in being the servant than in being the master. And you can ask any boss, if you do a business, you run a company, the boss is always in anxiety, trying to make the money to pay for all the workers, to pay the salaries for everyone. He has so much anxiety to maintain the business. The workers, they just do their jobs and they get paid every month, hopefully. Of course, not always. But that's the idea. So my point is, the Master, the Supreme Lord, He's maintaining all of us. We live by the grace of God. We don't live just simply by our own efforts. It's all His arrangement, His blessing. He gives us, and He gives us according to our qualification to receive. According to our deeds, the activities, the work which we've done, we get the results. As you say in India, Jaisa karega, aisa bharega. That principle is there in every country of the world. In China also, the Chinese people also have that kind of saying. And the Christians also, they have that saying also, it's there in the Bible. No, it's okay, not cold. So we are encouraging everyone to understand the importance of being a servant, developing the mode of devotion to the service of the Supreme Lord. And the way in which we can develop that mode is through the chanting of the names of the Lord. And the simplest manner in which we can introduce you to this is by chanting the Maha Mantra. We were having the Kirtan. Kirtan is one way of chanting. The other way is Japa. You can see I have a bag here, and in my bag I have my beads. I have my japa beads. And we chant on the beads every day. We make it a practice to do like that. It's part of our spiritual life. Just as you have the material life, we have also spiritual life. And so the spiritual practices, we call it sadhana, the regulated practice of chanting the Maha Mantra. And we have also a diet as well which we follow. Our diet is vegetarian. We don't eat meat or fish or eggs. We're vegetarian. But not just simply vegetarian, we're actually prasadatarians. Everything we will eat is prasadam. It's the mercy of the Lord. We offer everything to Krishna. So we eat the food which is offered to the Lord, and we chant the names of the Lord. And just by doing these simple activities, you develop your devotion and you become more eligible to go back to be with the Lord, to enter into the kingdom of God. We call it Goloka. Goloka. It's a spiritual planet where there is no old age, there's no disease, and there's no death. Everyone is enjoying spiritual life in the association of Lord Krishna. And so this is the principle of Bhakti Yoga, to get free of birth and death, to get out of the material world, material life, all problems from beginning to end. And spiritual life, all blissful, eternally. So we are given that free will. It's up to choose, up to us to choose. Which way do you want to go? If you don't mind to come back again into this material world, if you're willing to take the risk to become an animal, to be a tree, if you don't mind these things, then okay, no problem. But if you would like to get out of this troublesome condition of birth and death, then you have to take up spiritual practice. You have to practice. And you have to practice regularly. Means daily practice. You do things on a daily basis, like you clean your teeth. You don't clean your teeth once a year, I hope. Yeah? We clean the teeth every day. And so similarly, chanting. You have to chant regularly. And to help you to remember to do these things, you have to have association. You have to come for the programs. You have to visit the center. We celebrate, although we don't have really official temples here, we do celebrate functions. We come together for different programs. Like there's a Kirtan Mela coming up at the end of the year. And that will be very nice. So we're inviting all of you, take up this spiritual practice. It's never too late to do it. You know, we may say, oh, wait till I'm older. No, we say, Subhasha Segram. In Sanskrit, we say, Subhash, auspicious thing. You do it immediately. You don't wait. Don't put it off. Because you always say, oh, mañana, the Spanish will say mañana, tomorrow, next time, you know, give me more time. Don't put it off, don't delay. You have to see it's urgent, that it's required, that as soon as you take it up, the better. And the longer you wait, the more troublesome, more difficult it becomes. But it's never too late. So even at the end of life, if you're very serious and very committed, you can make a success of life. Just chant the holy name and you can achieve the desired perfection. The Shastras tell us about one man, Ajamila, in his old age. He was very fallen. As a young man, he was very devoted and pious, but somehow he became very degraded, and he became addicted to many sinful habits. He gave up his chaste wife, and he took a very low-class woman who was, uncultured, and he was living with this other woman, not his married wife, and so many bad things. They had children, but somehow he gave the youngest child the name Narayan. So when the sinful man Ajamil was about to die, the Yamadutas came. The servants of Yamaraj came to take him to Yamalok for punishment. But then he called for his son. He was afraid. He saw these terrible looking people from Yamalok. They were frightening. So he called for his son, Narayan, Narayan. And the Vishnu Dutas came. The servants of Lord Vishnu came. And they told the servants of Yama, you cannot take this man. Why not? Because he has chanted the name of the Supreme Lord. All of his sins are dissolved. They're all removed. And the Yamadutas were defeated. They went back to Yamaraj. Yamaraj is one of the Mahajans. He's one of the authorities on Bhakti Yoga. And they requested Yamaraj, they said, is there anybody above you? Is anyone superior to you? We always thought you were the Supreme. And Yamaraj said, yes. He said, there is one person above me. I am his servant. He is the Supreme Lord, Narayan. You should never go near any of his people. Anybody who's chanting the name of Narayan, never go to those people. Don't bring those people to me. They don't get punished because they're servants of Yamaraj, of Narayan rather, servants of Narayana. So all of they have no sins because they're chanting the names of the Lord. So this is the power of the holy name. Very powerful. And even you don't chant, if you're just in the association of people who chant, you'll get some of the benefit. You'll get some of the benefit. You'll get a share of their pious activity. Just like sometimes husband and wife, the wife may be devotee and the husband doesn't do anything. Sometimes it's like, so the husband enjoys the pious activities of his wife. Right? And it's a very good thing. So husband should encourage the wife to be pious, to do her puja, to be religious, to chant the holy name. And certainly the husband will benefit. So we want all of you to consider these points. It's very important for us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shri Raghunath Bhakti Vrindavan Narasimha Swami Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Maharaj, wonderful discussions and guidance. किसी का कोई प्रश्न, comment? Maharaj is here.
When we do things like eat non-vegetarian, take intoxication, gambling and drinking, and illicit connection. So then the third thing, we have to understand that we are maintained by the Supreme Lord. And He's the one who's protecting us. We're not able to really protect ourselves. So surrender means to take shelter of some superior being. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the one who can protect us. And He is the one who maintains us also. We live by His mercy, as I was saying. And then, we should have no desire except for the desire of the Lord. And we should always remain meek and humble. Surrender means to have that humility, to be humble in front of the Supreme, recognizing Him as the controller, the Supreme Personality, and we are His tiny, insignificant servants. So that is the meaning of surrender. Externally, we show it by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and internally, we show it by taking shelter of Him, by remembering Him, that He is maintaining us, He is protecting us, having that consciousness. So this is the meaning of surrender.
Thank you, Maharaj. So,
Maharaj, thank you for the nice class. I want to ask you about the difference between material comfort and spiritual comfort. So everyone, all of us here in Dubai, obviously away from our homeland, whether we are Chinese or Indian, we are away from our natural homeland, whether Malaysia or China or India, coming here to seek for material comfort by working here and getting good money here. So we know what's material comfort. We have nice cars, nice house, nice facilities and all that. So can Maharaj share what will be, if we take up Krishna consciousness, what sort of spiritual comfort can we get if we go away from what we know in our life as material comfort, from what we study in school and uni and all that? What will be the spiritual comfort if we practice Krishna consciousness?
Well, material comfort is based around the body. The body means the senses. So material comfort, like this, nice home, comfortable living, no great stress like that. Material comfort, living conditions, comfortable. So that's generally when we talk about material comfort like that. And spiritual comfort means we're confident about our condition in the next life also. That materialistic people may be comfortable materially, but when they have to leave the body, then they will be in great stress. Where are they going? If they have not had any spiritual practice, when the end of life comes, they'll be in great anxiety. Where am I going? What's going to happen to me when I die? And so people who have got some spiritual practice, they won't be in anxiety about these things. But they will know that I've been using my life for the service of the Lord, and the next life I'll go on and serve Him. So in that way they're spiritually comfortable. They're not worried because they know that they're under the protection and shelter of the Supreme Lord, and He will deliver them. So that way they're comfortable. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. So, अभी हम एक कीर्तन और करेंगे जैसा महाराज ने बताया कि एसोसिएट करने का सबसे आसान तरीका है. हाँ, क्योंकि भगवान के साथ एसोसिएट करने का इस कलयुग के अंदर जो सबसे आसान तरीका है, हाँ, विद दिस मंत्र. तो हम 15 मिनट कीर्तन करेंगे और उसके बाद दामोदराष्टकम जो भगवान दामोदर को प्रे करने के लिए 8 प्रेयर्स हैं पद्म पुराण में, वो हम दामोदराष्टकम गाएंगे और आप बारी बारी से आप भगवान को घी का दिया ऑफर कर सकते हैं. बट कीर्तन शुरू करने से पहले एक पराग जी ने मुझे एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी है. वी वर आवर बैचमेट्स इन कॉलेज टाइम और बहुत खुशी का अवसर है कि पराग जी की फैमिली में पराग जी, प्रीति जी, तो पराग जी आज अनाउंस करना चाहते हैं इस सत्संग के अंदर, इस ऑडियंस के अंदर, कि उनका बेटा प्रभव और संचिति, तो सुदन ये रिश्ता इन्होंने पक्का कर दिया. 2 परिवार एक होने वाले हैं. हरमिंदर जी एंड पराग जी, आप प्लीज आप आए. कैन वी हैव 2 माला टू गार्निश? महाराज, कैन यू गिव योर गार्निश? So Parag son is getting fixed for marriage. So आज समधी आपस में माला पहना सकते हैं, बच्चे बाद में. Can you have that 1 माला? वहाँ पे है ना माला? वो 2 है महाराज को नहीं, आप समधी लोग आपस में एक दूसरे को पहनाओ. महाराज का प्रसाद है ये आपके लिए. तो पराग जी और हरमिंदर जी, ये 2 परिवार ने एक होने का फैसला किया है एंड आप एक दूसरे को कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट कर सकते हो, बधाई दे सकते हो, एक दूसरे को माला पहना सकते हो. And our prayers for Prabhav and Sanchiti, can you just get up? So come and take blessings from Maharaj. So Prabhav and Sanchiti, so they both were, can I say, studying together, I think, in UK, and now they have decided to go on the next phase of life, which is the Grihastha. And so first of all, they have decided that they are going to be together. So Prabhav and Sanchiti, so they take blessings. This is very nice that on this day you are getting blessings from Maharaj. May you have a Krishna conscious life, Grihastha. Congratulations.
Going back to UK.
So they both are in UK.